The ancient cathedral city of Canterbury, in the heart of the English county of Kent, has for centuries been a centre for the Christian faith. After the Kingdom of Kent's conversion to Christianity in AD 597, St Augustine founded a cathedral and became the first Archbishop of Canterbury, a position which now heads the Church of England and the worldwide Anglican community. Almost since that time, it has been the focal point for many pilgrimages, and throughout Kent there are many byways with the name of Pilgrim's Way. St Augustine is commemorated in a number of locations throughout the cathedral. The flow of pilgrims accumulated a steady income for the church, and in 1070 this enabled the cathedral to be completely rebuilt, a task which took 7 years. The volume of pilgrims increased dramatically following the murder of Thomas Becket in the 12th century. The extra income allowed for the east end of the cathedral to be greatly expanded, and following the fire in 1174, eastward extensions were built to accommodate the flow of pilgrims. The Norman nave and transepts survived until the late 14th century, when they were demolished to be replaced by the present-day structures. In 1170, Thomas Becket, then Archbishop of Canterbury, was murdered in the cathedral, following protracted disputes with King Henry II. King Henry was heard to exclaim, "Who will rid me of this turbulent priest?" and some of his knights duly obliged. The event brought an almost immediate canonisation to saintly status and led to a huge influx of pilgrims to Canterbury, depicted in Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. A shrine to Thomas Becket was erected in the Trinity Chapel above his tomb in the crypt. A marble plinth on pillars adorned with gold, silver and precious gems. One can imagine this wondrous sight for the weary pilgrims. The shrine to Thomas Becket was removed by King Henry VIII in 1538, following Becket's trial for treason some 250 years after his death, and its whereabouts has never been discovered. However, there is a memorial in the form of a lighted candle at the site of the shrine. The spot where he was murdered is now called the Martyrdom, and as a dramatic gesture of goodwill, in 1982 Archbishop Robert Runcie and Pope John Paul II knelt together in prayer at the small chapel. Adjacent to the Trinity Chapel is the tomb of the Black Prince, eldest son of Edward III. He is remembered as a great medieval military hero, with notable victories against the French in the 100 Years' War, but also gained a reputation for fearful butchery. On the opposite side of Trinity Chapel is the tomb of King Henry IV and his wife Joan of Navarre. King Henry was a great devotee of Thomas Becket, explaining his burial next to the shrine rather than at Westminster Abbey. Nearby is the tomb of Nicholas Wotton, the first to be appointed to the new role of Dean of Canterbury after the Reformation. However, he showed little relish for the job and was soon on many diplomatic missions across Europe, while still keeping his position as Dean. The most ornate of tombs is that of Henry Chichili, Archbishop from 1414 to 1443. One of the reasons for its splendid appearance is that it is repaired and maintained by the Fellows of All Souls at Oxford, which was founded by Henry Chichili. Among the many dignitaries depicted around the pillars is Thomas Becket, but this time depicting his death with a dagger in his head. The cathedral's choir consists of 12 lay clerks, professional singers with jobs locally, and 25 choristers, boys of 8 to 13 years, who live in the choir house and attend St Edmund's School. The choir makes regular recordings and are much in demand for international engagements. They have recently been joined by a newly formed female choir. The southwest tower, Oxford Tower, contains the cathedral's main ring of bells, hung for change ringing in the English style. There are 14 bells, all of which were cast in 1981 by the Whitechapel Bell Foundry. The oldest bell in the cathedral is Bell Harry, which hangs in a cage atop the central tower, to which the bell lends its name. This bell was cast in 1635 and is struck at 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. every day to announce the opening and closing of the cathedral. The cathedral forms a major part of the designation of UNESCO World Heritage Site bestowed on Canterbury, and despite the drift to secularism, the cathedral still has a huge influence, not only on the people of Canterbury, but Christians around the world.